Hello everyone. Sorry it's been such a long time since I've filmed anything, but I've been kind of sick the past couple of weeks and really haven't felt like doing much of anything. So I've seen a lot of people talking about solar panels and if they're worth it for their their homes or their businesses or their mining facilities specifically. I'm going to address a few things, the pros and cons of having the solar panels, so stay tuned. Here we go.
Yes, sir, you're on the Yankees YouTube channel.
So what we have here are 8 100-watt panel, 12-watt panels that each two of them are connected in a series, then paralleled together. So that way we get 24 volts off of both of these are the same way, series, parallel, down into the ground. And then we come over here and I have this jerry-rigged action here. These are just combiners here, so that way we're bringing all the 24 volts into a parallel connection. That's coming up into this little box that we made here. It's got a little backlight there. You guys are familiar with these if you're in the mining business, because these are just your regular shunt connectors, and what we have here is an industrial selector switch. So what I have this powering here is this is actually powering, you can't really see them down there, but this creek right here, I got permission from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in order to pump water out for irrigation. So this right here is actually currently pumping water up to the pond. But then what I recently currently did was added a second pump, and that right here, you can actually see where it goes right there. Whoa, sorry guys, I'm using something I'm not used to. It goes all the way up there, total of 500 feet of pipe, and it actually pushes it out to pretty decent irrigation. Alright, so as you guys know, it tells us how many watt hours we use, and that'll actually change over to kilowatt hours once we get to it, because you guys know what this shunt connector is. And what I will do is I will mark this down that we're at 2.3 kilowatt hours right now, and in a week from now we will calculate how much energy we've actually produced. So how I have these mounted up here, and both are the same, these are galvanized fence posts down into the ground here. And then it's also a post going across. This is super strut. And then we got some nuts going up into the panel up here. and they're just holding on right there onto the pipe, just a 2-inch pipe clamp. And then this little pipe cap with the plate, and then the ability to put the pipe clamps on there, and that's what keeps it on there. And then what this allows me to do when it's like this is I can change throughout the seasons the angle that it's at, so that way it's at the proper angle for the proper time of the year, so that way you're producing as much as you can. And then also we can track the sun as well with these, so that way we can move it. And what I do is I actually look down here on the ground and I line up the sun, so that way our line right here is nice and straight, so that way we know that we're pretty much going as best we can. It's basically making the shadow look as normal as possible, and then we can come over here and do the same thing because they're both the same. All we do is move these just like so. This one shadows a little bit smaller, so it actually makes it easier to get it just right. Show you guys that. And boom, we can actually see how much more power we're producing now too. So I didn't look at it before, but you know, you really don't gain too much power. I bet we gained like maybe 30 watts. So right now we're making 580 watts at 32 volts because that's open voltage. And that's with, oh, they're not pointed towards us anymore. I had them pointed towards us for the cinematic shots. Hope you guys like those. But yeah, so now we have 4 panels that are producing energy and bringing water up to the pond. So I'll go ahead and show you the other solar panel that I have set up too. Listen, just because we love American horsepower doesn't mean we can't be green too. So Al Gore, eat your heart out, brother. So what this solar panel array is these are actually all connected in parallel, and they come over to a little box underneath here, combiner that I made. Just, you know, all this stuff comes from Home Depot, Lowe's, you know, anything from a big box store over there. And then this actually goes over to the shed over there, and it used to power a lot more stuff. Right now it just trickle charges the battery for the tractor, so these aren't really being used to their full extent. So I'm actually probably going to move this array over to the pump side and make another 4 array, get another panel and do that, just because this used to power a lot more, but now that I built the shop I really don't need these here, because this really, solar in my opinion is best for off-grid solutions. If you have no access to power whatsoever, it's good for that. As soon as a cloud goes over, and I'll show you guys that too, that when a cloud goes over, I think tomorrow we're supposed to have some clouds, so I'll show you then, the power goes down quite a bit. You know, it's really making peak right now because it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so we're making good power now. And I'll show you the last solar panel that I have too, as well as the pond. All right, so this is where that pond is, or excuse me, that solar pump is pumping up to, total of 300 feet. It's not too much rise, it's maybe like 10 or 12 feet of rise. I do have fish in here. I don't know if you can see the minnows swimming over there right now, but there's minnows. There's one bass has survived. I don't know. I've had a heron coming in and fishing in my pond, so he's probably gotten a lot of fish out of here too. I have a bunch of goldfish, crappie, bluegill, just a wide variety. So what happens here is this cycles in, goes into our fish pond here. It actually cycles back out that way and goes right back into the creek. So technically I'm not even using the water really, except for when I irrigate the grass. but I don't do that too often just because we grow Bermuda grass here and it doesn't require that much irrigation. So there you go, being green again. So our other panel that we have over there is for an aeration pump. So all that setup is it just has a little 12-volt battery, deep cycle battery inside the inside behind it, air pump as well, and then when there's no more sunlight, it will aerate the pond at night, so that way when this is not flowing, whoa, hello, sorry. When this is not flowing, we have air being generated by our solar panel there. So I just want to give the fish the best chance that they have to live. And I've never seen any floaters. Oh man, there's a big old sunfish right in front of me, but you guys probably can't see him. Dang, I wish you guys could see him. He's like right here. Because I feed him every now and then. Usually I don't have to feed him because there's enough wildlife in here. Let's see if we can get down low and you can see all the little critters down in there. You see any of those tadpoles swimming around in there? Look like little sperms. Got plenty of those. So our fish eat good. And then obviously all the mosquito and everything. And this is actually where I got stuck in the tractor. So you can see here, I filled it all in. Me and my wife, we filled this in with riprap. So that way now, once this fills up, which since we've had clouds and rain for the past couple of days, it's probably not going to fill up too fast today anyway. But you can actually see it just started kind of coming down through our dam. But yeah, so I guess I can do my outro over by the solar panels there. All right, ending off this video. So the one thing that's bad about those shunts is there's no serial outs. So you're not able to really put, you know, any data anywhere to keep it besides going out there and keeping like a paper log like back in the day. But you know, that's not how we do things. So one of the things that I'll show you when we do our report next week, because I'm going to upload another video, part 2 of this, so that way you get the results of what we have for power production with these panels right here. So in this shed right here, I have a Raspberry Pi and a MPPT EP-Ever solar charge controller that's actually connected via serial. I haven't had the server up and running in a while that actually reads the data and makes it into a pretty graph. But in my second video, I'll do that too. I'll kind of give you a breakdown of what the Raspberry Pi looks like going into the solar controller, because my end goal is, what I'll do is move the solar controller, which kind of sucks because this one's actually just a 20 amp controller. So you could already see over there that I was pushing about 17, 18 amps, and this is about peak time, so full power right now. So what we'll eventually do is, you know, change all this out, put a little house right here, little hut, and I'll go ahead and put some type of battery system, so that way we can do like a solid state relay, all that kind of stuff. Get really complicated, because if you've met me, I like to make things extremely complicated. You can actually see some of our old Chinese pumps here. These are just direct connect to the solar panels, and they use all the juice you can push to them. So that's going to do it for this video. Like I said, in part 2, we'll see how many watt hours that we've actually produced in a week. And yeah, we'll do a little update video then. So hope you guys are doing well, having a great month so far, and we'll see you next week. Bye now.
Thanks for watching. Y'all come back now, you hear?